Okay, so if you are still not convinced that scouting impacts our community, I want you to listen closely to one last story. So earlier this year, on January the 1st, we lost a great scoutmaster. And I lost a close friend by the name of Stephen Pace. His wife Jackie is here tonight. His son Brian is here tonight, sitting with Troop 118. Jackie and Stephen were high school sweethearts and were married for 51 years. And together they raised a wonderful family. And with that support, Stephen left a legacy that will impact families for generations here in Charlotte and across our country. Stephen Pace served on our board and served as Scoutmaster for Troop 118, sponsored by St. Stephen's United Methodist Church, for the last 45 years. I can tell you that Mr. Pace always set the bar high, and he set high expectations for all of his scouts. Mr. Pace was a giant among giants. During his tenure, more than 1,500 young men experienced scouting in his troop. More than 196 of those men earned their Eagle Scout. In fact, one of his Eagle Scouts from 1985 has a son in the troop today and just took on as the new Scoutmaster. My friends, that is generational legacy. The day after Mr. Pace passed, his son Brian shared with the Scout troop that his dad's backpack is packed and he's headed on an eternal hike with God. What a powerful message for young people to hear. So there's a young man, one of his Eagle Scouts by the name of Adam Windam. Eagle Scout, Troop 118. And after Mr. Pace's death, Adam wrote a letter. It said two things. First, it speaks for the hundreds of young men who knew Mr. Pace. Second, it speaks to all of us about this power of scouting and how we build leaders in our community. Please turn your attention to the video, and here's what Adam had to say.
Dear Mr. Pace, to be honest, writing this is one of the most difficult things I've done in a long time. There's been so much said about you since your passing that it feels nearly impossible that I could add anything to the legacy of what an incredible man you were. In addition to that, writing this letter means accepting the fact that you are truly gone. And even during your funeral, I half expected you to suddenly walk in and question what all the fuss was about. To simply call you my Scoutmaster does not seem to fully do justice to everything you meant to me and so many other individuals who are truly blessed to know you. I can clearly remember the first time I met you. I was a scrawny, shy, 11-year-old new Scout, and you were the larger-than-life Scoutmaster that had already produced 100+ Eagle Scouts. You were a legend, and in my mind, I was just another Boy Scout. Yet you immediately knew my name and always ensured I felt welcome in the troop. And you did this for every single Scout that passed through. I think as I grew in Scouting, I began to understand even more just how much you did for everyone. Whether talking to a first-time boy or an 18-year-old Eagle Scout, you treated everyone with an incredible amount of respect, and more importantly, love. In Scouting, you taught us all the key elements required to be an Eagle Scout. Camping, first aid, knot tying, fire building, and many other skills were easily accomplished under your guidance. However, more importantly than these useful skills, you taught an entire troop of boys how to become men. You taught us unwavering selflessness, as you constantly put the needs of others before your own. You taught us loyalty and trustworthiness, as any promise you made to us was better than any written contract. You taught us how to respect others, regardless of their background or opinions. Most importantly, you taught us love. You loved every single boy that walked through the doors of Troop 118. making every single one feel as though they had their own special place in the troop. You turned young, nervous boys into mature, confident young men by leading through example. You were a mentor, second father, a guide, a motivator, an encourager, and most importantly, a friend. Even over the past few months, as your strength began to fail you, you never stopped giving and you never stopped loving. When I heard you had passed away, to be honest, I was stunned. You were always in my mind a Superman who could overcome anything. When I first heard about your diagnosis, I can clearly remember thinking, if anyone can beat cancer, Mr. Pace can. Though I know that so many people will miss you down here, I also know that heaven has gained one of the greatest men to ever walk this earth. Thank you for all you did for me and countless other people over so many years. You are one of my greatest heroes. I hope that up in heaven you're hiking new trails, sailing new waters, and just exploring every inch of the infinite woods God has to offer you. Please save me a space on some of your trips whenever I get up there. Thank you, Mr. Pace, and I love you. Adam Windam.
I will tell you that Adam will graduate from Bucknell University, and he will be attending seminary next year. This is just another example of generational legacy. And so now it's our time. It's our time to write our legacy.